What's up, guys? Coach Summer here, and guess what? I hate crunches. I don't do them. I really don't, and I don't encourage you to do them either. And this whole video is about why you should never do crunches again, and you should find other, more intelligent ways to train your core. So I hope to empower you with a ton of valuable information that's gonna really change your understanding of your deep inner core. All right, let's get started. So, few key things to understand. You actually have four main players in your deep inner core. So you have a pelvic floor down here, which is at the base of your perineum, and it's kind of like you're doing a Kegel or stopping the flow of urine midstream when you activate that bad boy. In fact, I'm gonna take you onto the ground, and we're gonna just do it on the ground because this is one of the basic, most foundational movements that we teach here at the FlowShala Virtual Studio. So lying on the ground, you find your neutral pelvis, contract the pelvic floor. I can't see that, but I trust that you know that you're stopping the flow of urine midstream. You better be. Point those toes, and then take your two hands to your hip bones, and then palpate inward just a little bit. You can do a little cough. Obviously, a cough is not a sustainable way to contract the core, but it's that same sensation of that part getting really rigid. Instead of going out, which is increasing your intra-abdominal pressure, we want that to go in. So it's kind of like you're drawing your navel to your spine, but you can still maintain breath flow. Then you're gonna contract your internal and external obliques, get your paraspinals on. Once you have all four main players of your inner core on, you're ready to rock and roll. Arms by your side, find your crown to coccyx alignment, point those toes, create a little torque, hands on the outside, inside of the thighs. Breathe and go up. So I get really excited about core. This is a common thing to warm up before practice. We're just starting with the basics. We got our lying toe taps. We got our lying toe taps level 2 from a tabletop position. Toes are pointed. Generally, you want to do about 10 of each, 10 on each side, maintaining all the pelvic floor, the transverse abdominis, the internal external obliques, the paraspinals. Memorize those. There'll be a pop quiz later on, guys. Next phase, you can work into lowering the leg all the way down, holding, coming back up, lowering down, holding. Maybe you're coming into a partial hollow body. Again, we're drawing everything in. And then we're preparing single legs, and then eventually hollow body holds. Lift the head and shoulders, come to your hollow body hold, spiral your thighs in. You can point your toes, look up towards the ceiling so you don't overly round your neck. Come back to the starting position. Exhale, power breath, hollow body hold, drawing navel in. And then next level would be reaching up like you're doing a pull-up here. And then back down. So once you've primed your deep inner core, imagine I did 10, then you're ready to come into some new and exciting core exercises. And yes, I am really this freaking stoked about core because I don't want to do crunches and I don't want you to have to do them either. So please put this stuff into your practice. It's going to awaken your nervous system so you get way more out of your training at the FlowShala Virtual Studio. So let's go into a little exercise called Forearm Plank. Come on over. So our forearm plank looks like this. Elbows are directly under shoulders, wrists are straight out. The shoulders are packed and our lats are on. So this muscle here, your latin serratus, the way that you get that on is by ripping your mat apart, packing your shoulders away from your ears, and then think about scooping your pubic bone towards the navel, elevating your hips in a perfectly straight line, tucking the chin, lengthening, and dropping the chest down just a little bit. So level 1 is here. I'm still maintaining that shoulder pack, really rigid in my lats. Breathing. Level 2, curl the toes under, lift the knees and hold, driving through the heels. Squeezing the glutes on, nice and hard. Make sure the hips aren't here, but they're up and in line with the shoulders. Drop your chest down to minimize that concavity in your upper back. And then Sphinx pose is a great counter pose. So we're finding that little bit of arc in the spine. Maybe a little self-adjustment happens. Try 3 rounds of 30 seconds to a minute of forearm plank, and then you're ready to progress to the next exercise. So I'm gonna come into quadruped. So quadruped, see that the fingers are spread wide all the way down to the webbing. Corkscrew the arms into the floor, pack your shoulders, kick your leg back, flex the foot, square the hips. Again, level 1 is just seeing, can I keep my lats on while I kick back, and can I actually fire my glute? Notice the globe of my glute is not flaccid. I said flaccid, I know. Kick back, it's rigid and hard. Like literally feel your own butt and see that that thing is working. Level 1, level 2, here. lower down. Switch, kick the leg back, find the corkscrew in your arms, mind muscle connection in the glutes, and guess what? My deep inner core is also activating my pelvic floor, my TVA, my internal, external obliques, and I've got a natural S curve in my spine. Once everything is on, then I've got true core contraction. Switch. Lengthen through the crown of head. My biggest pet peeve is the bird dog that looks like this. So don't aggravate your coaches. Kick your leg back, lengthen through the crown. I only jest because I want you to really, really understand that this part of your spine is literally part of your second core. So you've got your pelvic floor and your diaphragm. That's one pressure chamber. And then here from your diaphragm to your glottis, that's your second pressure chamber. So when your neck is out of alignment, for example, if I'm breaking and looking here, I'm like, what is happening over there? I just really want to see that gal's spandex. Where did she get those? Where did that guy get his mace? It's purple, it's really cool, I really want it. No, you need to have your eye gaze down, keep the crown to coccyx alignment, here, and you're good to go. So let's progress that into a couple of really cool bodyweight exercises that we do here at the Flowshala. I'm gonna get rid of my mat. Yes, I love my Debosa mat, but I'm gonna be moving off the mat and I don't want to fudge my mat and like get it all tangled. So I'm gonna train on my nice zebra mat, which is the matting that we use here at the Flowshala. Super awesome floor, by the way, love it. It smells nice too. So we hinge forward, back the shoulders, preload, find your sit back, and then you can either come all the way down to a child's pose and lift and step. Squeeze the back glute on. Again, I'm just gonna touch. Is the glute actually firing? I don't know. Have to make a mind muscle connection. Pull it back to a hollow body. Notice the similarity between this and this, yes? Shoulders packed, lats on, glutes on. I load, child's pose outer lunge. Back glute is on and solid. I'm doing this funky breath. It's called a power breath. I'm not looking over there at Susie Sally's yoga leggings, but I'm tucking the chin and lengthening through the crown. Level 2, lifting the back leg. Lowering, pressing back, lift, squeeze that back glute on. Level 3. You might think I'm waking up the downstairs neighbors. It's okay. I'm really making that full foot contact so that my glutes turn on and I maintain a hollow body. So hopefully this has inspired you. I got one more crazy exercise that you may not have seen called the sit through hip. So sit through hip is great for rotational strength, building the core. So we're gonna start with a flat foot squat. Hands down on the ground, corkscrew the arms into the ground, load the beast. Pack the shoulders, swivel, knees to the right. Level 1 is just sitting on the leg here. So my hands will line up essentially with my knee and my hip. Swivel, have a seat. This heel is lifted. I'm in a ready position. So level 1, establish that you can actually roll over onto that ankle. Level 2, you can lift a hand, push your hip back behind your wrist, and just touch your oblique. Is there something happening there? I sure hope so. Come back to the starting position. Other side, swivel, have a seat. Notice, in this position, I'm not just hanging out here. I'm nice and alert, my spine is alive. I rotate back, I anchor to the floor, swivel. Have a little fun with it. I mean, when do we get to like crawl on the floor like monkeys? Here at the Flowshala, you do. Swivel. Sit through hip. Eye gaze on the floor. A common misalignment. This is another way a lot of different practitioners go here, which is great. That is one way to do it. But if I'm trying to maximize the force generated in my obliques, I actually want to hold the hip in line with my wrist so I can capture all of the force from the kinetic chain moving up from my wrist to my elbow to my lat, all the way down the obliques. I've got torque in my legs. And you're also splaying your legs out hard. Next level, point or flex the foot. If you want to make that into a dancer's bridge, it's not really a core one at this point, but it's nice to stretch out those hip flexors. All right, tell me what you learned, comment down below. Hopefully you got a little bit of inspiration for how to integrate and activate your core before you start swinging mace and clubs. We'll see you in the virtual studio real soon. Namaste.